The galaxy was vast, stretching across the cosmos in ways that even the oldest star charts couldn't fully comprehend. Entire civilizations had risen and fallen, leaving only faint remnants of their once great empires. Many species had come to the conclusion that they were the apex of creation, the pinnacle of evolution, but none had encountered humanity, not until the event that would forever change the course of galactic history. It began with the Enigma. The Enigma was a ship unlike any other, a gargantuan behemoth. Its design was an intricate fusion of technology and artistry, and it emerged from the farthest reaches of the uncharted deep space as if it had been waiting in the dark for eons. It wasn't the ship's size or appearance that caused concern. No, what frightened the Galactic Council was the ship's origin. It had no markings, no identifiable insignia, no clue as to where it came from or who had constructed it. It was an anomaly that defied every known law of the universe. After weeks of observing its silent drift, the Council sent a fleet of ships to investigate. They made contact with the Enigma, or rather, it made contact with them. The ships of the Council's fleet were shredded in an instant. Whatever technology controlled the Enigma was beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. It manipulated space itself, bending reality with an ease that sent shivers down even the bravest captains. Panic swept across the galaxy. The Enigma wasn't just a ship, it was a message, a challenge. The galaxy's most advanced species, who had once believed they were the supreme intelligence, now found themselves at the mercy of a force they could neither understand nor defeat. Then came the humans. Humanity had always been underestimated. They were new to the galactic stage, young compared to the ancient civilizations that had been wandering the stars for millennia. The higher species of the Council viewed them with disdain, dismissing their technological prowess and their primitive ways. But humanity had something that the others lacked, a tenacity to survive, to push forward no matter the odds. When the Council reached out to the Terran Federation for assistance, they expected a quick and easy dismissal. Instead, they were met with an unexpected response. "Send us to the Enigma," came the reply from Terran Command, "and we will handle it." The leaders of the galaxy were stunned. They had watched humanity rise from the ashes of its war-torn past, and they had seen them conquer the stars with an audacity that no other species had. But even the most optimistic human diplomat had never expected them to rise to the level of legend. A single human warship, the Fury, was dispatched to confront the Enigma. It wasn't the largest, nor the most powerful ship in the Federation's fleet, but it carried the spirit of humanity inside. A diverse crew of humans, from every corner of Earth, prepared for what could be their final journey. Captain Aiden Holt, a veteran of countless space battles, stood at the helm, eyes fixed on the vast dark silhouette of the Enigma. Now looming before them, his crew, a mix of scientists, engineers, and soldiers, looked at him for guidance. They knew what they faced. No one else had even survived an encounter with the ship. Holt's voice broke the silence. "We're not here to destroy the Enigma, we're here to understand it." The humans did the impossible. They managed to infiltrate the Enigma, not with brute force, but with cunning and resolve. Using their unparalleled creativity and resourcefulness, they began to decode the ship's strange patterns, its inexplicable technology. They found that the Enigma wasn't an enemy ship, it was a challenge left behind by a race far older than any the galaxy had ever encountered. The ship's technology was designed not to destroy, but to test. It was a puzzle, an enigma, meant to evaluate the worth of those who would seek to claim its secrets, and humanity, with its unyielding resolve and adaptability, proved worthy. As the humans unlocked the final key to the Enigma's mystery, the ship's systems powered down, and the galaxy was forever changed. The ancient civilization that had created the Enigma watched from the shadows, its members filled with awe. Humanity had passed their test. The Enigma's legacy became clear. It had not come to destroy, but to challenge, to find the one species worthy of its knowledge. Humanity, the youngest species in the galaxy, had risen to the occasion. They had proven that it was not raw power nor ancient wisdom, but the human spirit that could conquer the universe. The galaxy would never forget the tale of the Enigma and how humanity, in the face of impossible odds, had claimed its place at the pinnacle of existence. The story of the Fury and its crew would be remembered as the ultimate human victory and a testament to the fact that sometimes the greatest power lies not in strength or intelligence, but in the heart to never give up. And thus began a new era, an era where the universe learned a valuable lesson: underestimate humanity at your peril. The end. In the years following the defeat of the Enigma, the galaxy had begun to look at humanity in a new light. The Federation's influence expanded rapidly, but it wasn't just their technology or their ability to outlast even the most brutal of trials that made them formidable. It was their relentless pursuit of understanding, their insatiable curiosity, and their ability to turn what seemed like insurmountable odds into opportunities. Captain Aidan Holt, now a legend in his own right, found himself at the center of humanity's new chapter. With the secrets of the Enigma in their hands, humanity had made a leap forward. The ancient technologies and knowledge they had uncovered were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, but the more they learned, the more questions arose. The Enigma had been just the beginning. There were whispers, rumors from the farthest corners of the galaxy, about a new threat emerging, something darker, more dangerous than anything they had encountered before. The ancient creators of the Enigma, now revealed to be the Nolran, had left behind not only a challenge but a warning, something even they had feared: a race known only as the Voidburn. The Voidburn were a collective of interdimensional beings, capable of existing between the boundaries of reality and nothingness. They were ancient, older than the Nolran, and far more terrifying. Their intentions were unclear, but their presence was undeniable. They had watched humanity, intrigued by the species' ability to adapt, survive, and thrive against all odds. But the Voidburn had also taken note of something else. The Enigma had been left for humanity to solve, and its final answer had changed the balance of the galaxy. To the Voidburn, such interference in the natural order was an affront, and they were coming to correct it. The Federation, in their newfound understanding of the Enigma's secrets, immediately recognized the signs of an impending war. However, they weren't prepared to fight against a foe that existed outside the very fabric of reality. Captain Holt, now promoted to Admiral, was summoned to lead a team of humanity's finest, tasked with an unprecedented mission, not only to stop the Voidburn, but to understand them before the galaxy was consumed. The first strike came without warning. A vast ripple in space-time opened above Terra, the heart of the Federation, and from it emerged ships of impossible design, like voids in the shape of matter itself. Their presence bent the laws of physics, distorting time and space in ways that made even the bravest warriors falter. But humanity didn't flinch. Instead, Admiral Holt, now at the helm of the newly commissioned flagship Prometheus, initiated a daring counterattack. The Federation had learned much since their first confrontation with the Enigma. This time, they would rely not just on technology, but on humanity's innate ability to find solutions when faced with the unknown. Holt wasn't just leading a fleet, he was leading a collective of species who had learned from humanity's example that survival didn't just depend on power, but on unity and adaptability. With the Prometheus' new technologies derived from the Enigma's secrets, the crew was able to detect minute fluctuations in the Voidburn's dimensional presence. By understanding the patterns of their interdimensional movements, humanity managed to close the first rift before the Voidburn could gain a foothold in the galaxy. However, this victory was short-lived. The Voidburn weren't simply conquerors, they were harbingers of a darker, more incomprehensible force. The rifts began appearing faster, opening up in different sectors of space, each more catastrophic than the last. Planets were caught in the collapse of realities, whole star systems disintegrating as the Voidburn continued their relentless assault. But humanity's victory over the Enigma had ignited something within them, a spark that would not be easily snuffed out. The Federation didn't just defend, they innovated. Humanity's finest minds, engineers, and scientists, led by the brilliant Dr. Mariah Solis, began working on a way to reach beyond the dimensional rifts and understand the Voidburn's true nature. If they could not defeat them in the physical realm, they would confront them in the space between dimensions. It was Solis who made the breakthrough. Using knowledge gained from the Enigma, humanity developed a way to enter the folds of space-time itself. A specially designed ship, the Aegis, would traverse the dimensional rifts to seek out the Voidburn's true form and, if possible, communicate with them. Admiral Holt, despite his previous reservations, was once again called upon to lead the mission. This time, the stakes were higher. With each rift, the Voidburn grew bolder. They weren't just invading, They were reshaping reality to their will. As the Aegis plunged into the unknown, the crew, made up of humans and their allies, faced unimaginable challenges. The laws of physics no longer applied. Time stretched and contracted. Every step forward was a fight against reality itself. When they finally encountered the Voidburn, it wasn't an army of monstrous beings. Instead, it was an entity, one vast, unfathomable consciousness existing outside of time, an intelligence that was ancient beyond comprehension. It didn't speak in words but in thought, and its voice shook the very foundation of existence. "We are the void," the entity's thoughts reverberated through their minds. "You are but a flicker in the infinite dark. Your existence is an anomaly, an imperfection in the cosmos." Soulless, standing beside Holt, stepped forward. "We may be an anomaly, but we're a living one. We're here to stay, and we'll fight for our place in the universe." The Voidburn hesitated. Humanity's will, unyielding, relentless, was something they had not anticipated. The entity felt something it had not known for eons: doubt. Through ingenuity, empathy, and a belief in their own potential, humanity did the impossible once again. They forged an understanding, not through conquest, but through dialogue, showing the Voidburn that while they may be a cosmic anomaly, humanity's existence was no flaw. It was a force of creation, of growth, of life. The rifts began to close, the Voidburn retreating back into the folds of the multiverse. The galaxy was saved once again, not by raw strength or overwhelming firepower, but by humanity's ability to adapt, learn, and persevere in the face of the unknown. The galaxy had barely begun to recover from the devastating incursions of the Voidburn when another unprecedented event shook the very core of existence. The peaceful order that had slowly been re-established after the Rift Wars seemed too fragile, as if the universe itself was testing the resolve of its inhabitants. And once again, it was humanity that would rise to meet this new threat. After the initial withdrawal of the Voidburn, strange cosmic phenomena began appearing throughout the galaxy. Entire star systems vanished without a trace. In their place were strange, shifting patterns in space, resembling the very rifts that the Voidburn had once created. But these disturbances weren't just anomalies. They were gates. Unseen forces beyond the dimensional veil were opening, revealing new, unimaginable horrors. It was as if the universe itself had been cracked open, allowing something far darker than the Voidburn to slip through the cracks. The Federation called for the brightest minds of every species to come together. A new council was formed, but this time, it wasn't just to strategize military tactics or scientific approaches. The galaxy had learned one critical lesson from the Voidburn conflict. Their survival would no longer depend on just technology or might alone, but on unity and the resolve to face what lay beyond the stars. In this time of uncertainty, Captain Aidan Holt once again found himself at the center of humanity's greatest challenge. Holt, now revered as the hero of the Enigma, had grown into more than just a military leader. He had become a symbol of humanity's indomitable spirit. But despite his victories, he knew that there were things in the universe that even his tactical brilliance couldn't prepare them for. The galaxy was being pulled towards something vast and incomprehensible, and Holt was sure the Federation needed more than just their technology to survive it. As the mysterious gates continued to appear, Holt was tasked with leading a diverse team of experts on a dangerous mission to investigate one of the gates and discover what was truly behind these strange cosmic openings. Unlike the previous battles, the enemy in this case wasn't an entity, but rather a force, something that could not be easily understood or destroyed. The team was an eclectic mix of humans, diplomats, alien scientists, and even former enemies who had now realized that only by working together could they stand a chance. But as they prepared to embark on their mission, one question loomed large: what would they find beyond the gates? The Eclipse was humanity's newest flagship, built with the latest technology and designed specifically to withstand the unpredictable anomalies of the new cosmic disturbances. Aboard the ship were specialists, including Dr. Mariah Solis, who had led the breakthrough that saved the galaxy from the Voidburn, and an alien named Sildar, an enigmatic scholar of a species known for their wisdom and perception of realities beyond the physical. They approached the first gate, an enormous swirling vortex that seemed to pulse with an ancient energy. The moment the Eclipse entered the gate, They were no longer in known space. Time seemed to stretch and warp around them, and the stars outside appeared as a distant memory. They were in a place where even light struggled to hold its form. For the first time, Captain Holt felt fear. But even in this alien realm, humanity's resolve remained. It was not just technology that allowed them to survive, it was their adaptability, their refusal to give in to fear. What they discovered beyond the gate was a realm unlike any they had ever encountered. A vast, empty void stretched infinitely, but it was alive with a presence that they could not comprehend. The space they entered was a bridge, an intersection between realities, where concepts like time and space had no meaning. The Eclipse systems struggled to keep up with the disorienting shift in their surroundings. The crew explored the realm, searching for any sign of intelligence or even basic understanding. As they ventured deeper, they encountered strange shapes, ephemeral beings that seemed to exist on the edge of perception. These entities were unlike anything they had encountered before. They were not physical beings but thoughts and emotions, manifested in a form they could barely grasp. One of these beings approached the crew. It was a towering figure, made of shifting light and shadow, its voice not in words, but in feelings, imprinted directly into their minds. "You are the travelers," it said, its voice echoing in their consciousness. "Your presence is known to us. You are the anomaly. You have crossed the threshold, but you do not belong here." Dr. Sois stepped forward, unafraid, her voice calm. "We are not here to conquer. We are here to understand. We have been sent to find out why this reality, this gate, has opened in our universe. What lies beyond?" The entity regarded her for a long moment, and then responded in a way that no one could have expected. "You are not ready, but perhaps you will be." In a burst of light and shadow, the entity disappeared, leaving behind only a cryptic message. "The key is within. Find it, before the others do." The crew of the Eclipse was left in a state of confusion. What did the entity mean by the key? What others? Were they truly prepared for what lay ahead? As the crew made their way back through the gate, they returned to their galaxy with more questions than answers. They had not encountered a hostile force, but something far more complex, a presence beyond comprehension, and a warning that they had barely begun to understand. Back in the Federation, leaders and scientists scrambled to decode the cryptic message. The gates were multiplying, opening more frequently, revealing more layers of reality. But with each new discovery, they began to sense something else, something more dangerous than the Voidburn or any other enemy they had ever faced. It became clear that humanity's true test was yet to come. The gates were not just cosmic anomalies, they were the entrance to something far greater, a convergence of realities, where humanity's ability to adapt, to understand, and to evolve would be the key to their survival. And so, Captain Aidan Holt and the crew of the Eclipse prepared for the next journey, knowing that beyond the gates lay an enigma far greater than any they had encountered before. They were no longer just defending their galaxy, they were standing at the threshold of the multiverse. Humanity's victory over the Voidburn, their unraveling of the Enigma, and their encounter with the enigmatic forces beyond the gates were only the beginning. As the stars began to quiet once again, Captain Aidan Holt and the Federation had barely scratched the surface of what lay beyond the dimensional thresholds. The universe had revealed just a fraction of its hidden mysteries, but it was now clear that humanity's future would be defined not by their conquest of the stars, but by their ability to navigate the very fabric of reality itself. The gates, once thought to be mere cosmic anomalies, were now understood to be something far more insidious, a series of interdimensional pathways, leading to realms that existed on the fringes of all known reality, and the cryptic message left behind by the strange entity, "The key is within. Find it, before the others do," echoed in the minds of humanity's greatest minds, creating an urgency that could no longer be ignored. Months passed as the Federation prepared, yet, despite their newfound understanding, questions remained. Who or what were the others, and why did they seem to be so intent on humanity discovering the key? The first answer came in the form of a whisper from an unlikely source, a former enemy. General Zylra, a once powerful warlord of the cultic dominion, was now an uneasy ally of the Federation. The cultic had been a brutal and expansionist empire, their entire culture built around conquest. Yet, in the wake of their defeat at humanity's hands during the Voidburn crisis, Zylra had become a defector, choosing to align with the Federation for the sake of survival. His species, the Koltuk, had long feared the gates and the forces that they harbored. Do not underestimate them, Zyle warned Admiral Holt during a private meeting. The gates are not just bridges between realms, they are doorways to entities beyond comprehension, beings who can tear apart the very essence of existence, and there are others, those who have crossed through before you, who will stop at nothing to ensure that your species does not find the key. Zyl's warning was clear. Someone or something was waiting on the other side of these dimensional doors, something that had existed long before humanity or the Koltuk, and that it had been silently watching, waiting for the moment when that key would finally be discovered. Determined to protect humanity and uncover the truth, Captain Holt and his crew were once again called upon to lead an expedition. This time, however, they would not just venture through the gates, they would enter the heart of the mysterious multiversal nexus, where all the gates converged, a realm known as the Infinite Divide. The journey to the Infinite Divide was perilous. As the Eclipse and its crew moved through the first gate, they encountered strange phenomena beyond their wildest imagination. Time fractured in bizarre ways. Some crew members experienced days, others years. In what felt like moments, space bent and twisted, and entire worlds seemed to blink in and out of existence. But despite these challenges, the crew pressed forward, following the path that had been laid before them. And then, they arrived. The Infinite Divide was not a place of solid matter. It was a vast, swirling maelstrom of realities, countless worlds, timelines, and dimensions all folding upon each other. In an eternal dance of creation and destruction, the crew could barely comprehend the scope of it. In some places, time moved backward, while in others, entire civilizations were being born and wiped out in the blink of an eye. At the center of the divide, there was a presence, a massive structure that seemed to pulse with life. It was neither solid nor liquid, neither living nor dead. It was a monument to something far older than the universe itself, the source of the gates, the key to all the realms. As the crew approached the heart of the Infinite Divide, a voice resonated through their minds, cold, ancient, and timeless. You have come seeking answers, human, it intoned, but you do not understand the question. Admiral Holt stood firm. We understand that we are not alone in this universe. We understand that we've crossed paths with forces far greater than ourselves. But we are here because we believe that humanity deserves to exist in this cosmos as much as anyone else. We have learned to adapt. We have learned to survive. And we will not stop until we understand what is happening. The voice, a chorus of countless beings, answered. You seek the key, but the key is not an object. It is a concept. It is the ability to choose. The structure before them began to change. The very fabric of space rippled, revealing glimpses of countless realities. In one, humanity was crushed beneath the weight of its own ambition. In another, they had evolved into a peaceful, enlightened species that had united the galaxy. And in yet another, humanity had never left Earth, their civilization forever locked within the confines of their own planet. This, the voice continued, is what lies beyond the gates. Choice. The multiverse does not bend to fate, but to will. Those who understand this are the true masters of reality. And you, human, are the first to see it. Will you accept the responsibility of shaping the future, or will you fall like all the others who have tried and failed? For a long moment, Holt and his crew stood in silence. The weight of the question hung in the air, a challenge like no other they had ever faced. To choose not just their own fate, but the fate of all who would come after them, was no small thing. They were on the precipice of something beyond comprehension, a chance to shape reality itself. Admiral Holt turned to Dr. Soulless, and to the rest of the crew, knowing that the burden of this choice was theirs to bear. In that moment, humanity's greatest strength became clear. It wasn't just their ability to survive, to fight, or to innovate. It was their capacity to choose, to define their own destiny, to forge their path when no map existed. Let's make the right choice, Holt said, his voice steady. The universe is vast, but humanity is ready to shape it. The structure before them expanded, and the gates of the multiverse opened wide. Their future had arrived. The end, for now. Admiral Aidan Holt and the crew of the Eclipse stood at the threshold of a new reality. The Infinite Divide had opened before them, and the decision they faced was far more than a simple crossroads. It was a point of no return. The weight of their choice would reverberate across every timeline, every reality, shaping the future of not just humanity, but of all life that existed within the multiverse. But this was not the first time humanity had faced an existential question. They had risen from the ashes of their own wars, defeated the Enigma, and stared down the Voidburn. This new challenge was no different. Humanity's defining strength had always been its ability to adapt, to make choices, and to fight for their place in the universe. As the crew made their way through the infinite maelstrom of shifting realities, the voice from the infinite divide spoke again, this time with more urgency, more weight in its tone. Humanity has proven to be resilient, yes, but your actions come at a price. The key you seek will not just reshape your own universe, it will influence all others. The power to choose is a gift, but it is also a burden. A mistake could unravel all that you know. Captain Holt knew that the stakes were higher than ever. The power to reshape reality itself, to influence the course of all existence, was too dangerous to wield recklessly. Humanity's journey had always been about survival, but now it was about more than that. It was about creating a future that could shape not only their own species, but the very fabric of existence. "We don't need to control all of existence," Holt replied, his voice firm and resolute. "We just need to protect the right to choose, for ourselves and for those who come after us." The voice fell silent for a moment, as if considering the weight of Holt's words. Then, it spoke once more, but this time with something new: respect. "Then you have chosen wisely, human. The future will be yours to shape, but know this, your choices will ripple across all realities. The gate is not just a passage, it is a responsibility." And with that, the maelstrom of shifting realities before them began to slow, coming into focus. The chaotic swirl of dimensions that had once seemed incomprehensible now appeared as a collection of distinct realms, each one connected by invisible threads. The crew of the Eclipse could see glimpses of countless worlds, each one unique, each one containing infinite possibilities. As the Eclipse moved closer to the heart of the divide, the crew could feel the power of the decision they had made. The structure before them began to take form, a colossal, glowing monument, a repository of all the choices made by countless beings across the multiverse. It was a nexus, a place where the future could be shaped with the merest thought, but the responsibility of wielding this power was not lost on them. At the center of the nexus, they found it: the key. It was not an object, not a physical item that could be held or touched. It was a presence, a force that emanated from the very structure itself. It was the embodiment of choice, the collective potential of every being across every reality, and it was here, waiting for humanity to claim it. The crew stared at the key in awe. It pulsed with light, with energy, with infinite possibilities. It was beautiful, and yet terrifying. The key represented the culmination of everything humanity had fought for: their future, their destiny, and the power to shape it. But it was a power that could easily consume them if they were not careful. Captain Holt stepped forward, his hand trembling slightly as he reached toward the key, but before he could touch it, the voice returned, echoing in his mind. "You have come far, human, but there is one final question you must answer. Will you choose for yourselves, or for all the others who follow? Will you preserve the right to choose, or will you bend the future to your will?" The weight of the question was immense. Holt turned to his crew, to Dr. Solus, to Zyra, and the rest of the team. Each of them had their own ideas of what should be done with the key. Some saw it as a means to secure humanity's future, to ensure they would never be vulnerable again. Others saw it as a chance to undo past mistakes, to create a better universe. But Captain Holt knew that their future could not be dictated by a single decision, by one person, or by the will of a single species. Humanity's strength had always been their ability to choose, to chart their own path, and to allow others to do the same. "We will preserve the right to choose," Holt said, his voice steady, his resolve unshaken, "not just for us, but for all those who come after us. The future is not ours to control, it is ours to share." With those words, Holt reached out and touched the key, and in that moment, everything changed. The nexus of realities shifted. The Eclipse and its crew found themselves back at the center of the galaxy, with the knowledge that the power of choice was now woven into the very fabric of existence. The gates no longer represented a threat, but a tool, a means of exploration, of understanding, and of growth. The future was no longer a series of predetermined events but an open canvas, waiting for humanity to make their mark. As the crew of the Eclipse returned to Federation space, they knew that their greatest challenge was not behind them, but ahead. They had not conquered the stars, nor had they subdued the multiverse. What they had done was far more important. They had secured the right to choose, to shape their own destiny, and to allow others the same freedom. The universe, vast and unknowable, was theirs to explore, and humanity was no longer the anomaly, they were the key.